Your Excellency, Mr. President, Your Excellencies, the Ministers, in particular, Your Excellency and my dear colleague, Minister Mohammed Saleh, fellow CEOs, honored delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be present today in Nouakchott at such an important event. As the world wrestles with the triple challenges of energy security, energy transition to a lower carbon future, and energy affordability, we are looking to a future where Mauritania can play its role in a just transition, which combines access to affordable power and revenue from lower carbon LNG, bringing prosperity and social benefit to its people, supporting the growth of a nascent renewable industry. Kosmos celebrated its 10th anniversary in Mauritania this year. 10 years of joint endeavor with SMH and the Ministry of Energy, during which our commitment and desire to work here have never wavered. We've enjoyed great success as a result of this shared endeavor, and we intend to be here for many years. The future is bright, but we need to be clear-headed about how we navigate the path to that future in a current, volatile environment. We find ourselves here today talking at a critical moment for global energy supply. Years of underinvestment, exacerbated by the tragic events in Ukraine, have led to a desperate scramble to find a better path to energy security for all, and in particular in Europe, while still retaining the goal of meeting the challenge of the Paris Accord and ensuring affordable energy. Kosmos is fully committed to playing its part in keeping the global temperature rise well below 2 degrees centigrade. But we're also deeply conscious of the some 700 million people in Africa today who lack a reliable supply of energy to power the conveniences of modern life and to thrive economically. Reliable and affordable energy is the prerequisite for social and economic development. New sources of energy, in particular gas, are needed, and those who can supply that need in the right way, at the right time, and at a low cost will become very much part of the answer to the energy security, climate change, and affordability trilemma we face. My aim today is to paint a strategic vision for Mauritania in which it plays a key role in both accelerating the energy transition, as our conference title proposes, and in providing the sources of low-cost, lower-carbon energy which the world in Europe is craving for. If there's any doubt before the events in Ukraine, it's now even clearer that gas is and will be the bedrock transition fuel for the foreseeable future. And Mauritania enjoys the significant advantage of major low-carbon gas resources offshore. Kosmos discovered gas with our first exploration well in Mauritania in 2015, opening the deep water offshore basin and unlocking the cross-border Greater Tortue Akmehim or GTA field. We discovered the Barala field with the Marsouin well, and then the following year drilled 2 further appraisal wells on GTA. With the greatest resource density in GTA, it made the technical and commercial sense for the partnership with Mauritania and BP to begin development of the gas resource there. This led to the groundbreaking intergovernmental cooperation agreement between Mauritania and Senegal, and a final investment decision on phase 1 of the project in December 2018. Despite the inevitable delays caused by the global pandemic, we're still expecting first LNG by the end of 2023, the fastest ever offshore LNG development from discovery to first gas in 8 years. I salute our partners in BP, as well as SMH and the government of Mauritania for helping us to get this far. The gas in GTA and Barala has negligible CO2, making the gas cleaner and cheaper to produce, a significant advantage over other global gas resources. Mauritania and the partnership will be producing the advantaged gas from phase 1 of GTA for many years to come. The world is now watching us for how much further we can go and whether we can maintain that pace. So let's look to the future and what our next steps should be together in the context of the current market dynamics. Before the events in Ukraine, LNG supply was forecast not to meet demand by the second half of this decade. The situation in Europe has brought forward the timing of that shortfall. As a result, both short-term and medium-term prices are increasing. New projects are needed. US LNG is responding, supported by its government, and is gearing up to significantly increase the supply of LNG to Europe. In theory, it could supply much, if not all, of the shortfall if others do not respond quickly. So which projects will win? In my view, buyers will focus on near-term projects that can deliver LNG before 2027, when the supply gap begins to close. Beyond that time frame, the fragility and the volatility of global energy supply and demand means that if a supplier is not established, they will find it increasingly hard to penetrate the market. There's a moment of great opportunity, but there's also a clear risk of missing out. Similarly, successful new projects will need to be supported by a robust gas resource, low carbon intensity, together with low upstream and shipping costs. And finally, they will need supportive governments that have the same vision for the future. That is what we've experienced in Mauritania for the last 10 years. This slide includes a lot of information, but the fundamental points are clear. There's a supply gap of at least 50 million tons into Europe, maybe significantly higher. As I said, US LNG intends to step in to help fill that gap. But US LNG has higher carbon intensity with increased shipping costs. Mauritanian LNG, on the other hand, as can be seen by the chart on the right side of the page, has carbon intensity into Europe 40% lower than US LNG and 25% lower than Qatar. We expect to be able to improve the carbon intensity even further with the right concept for phase 2. The partnership's at the point of deciding how to take forward phase 2, which is an advantage project at the right time for the market. Our aim is to optimize the scope by leveraging the existing infrastructure from phase 1 to ensure the right increase of volumes at the right cost. I'm strongly of the view that for Mauritania to continue to establish itself as a reliable supplier of gas into Europe in the near term, the timing and scope of phase 2 need to respond to the current market dynamics. At the same time as we push on with phase 2, we're in parallel deciding on the right pathway for developing BirAllah. We're all very excited about the opportunity this offers, provided the project contains the same characteristics I outlined earlier for successful projects in the current market. As you can see from the slide, we have a vision of a simple project that will rapidly bring another 2.5 million tons per annum to the market. The aim is a phased development to accelerate the timing for bringing that gas to market and to avoid a lengthy appraisal program. We're evaluating using the existing infrastructure at Ndiago, which could lead to lower costs and bring clear economic and social benefit to the local population. The concept also enables access to future renewable power from the grid, which could further reduce carbon intensity. We need to understand fully the technical possibilities, but we could envision production at this site at very low carbon intensity. At the same time, there's the opportunity for expanding the site to include blue ammonia production, helping to turn the whole project into a major hub for converting Mauritania's gas into low carbon energy and products. In conclusion, I've tried to paint a picture today of what the future can and should hold for Mauritanian energy and LNG. There's a significant low-carbon advantage gas resource readily available offshore that can help address the energy insecurity that the world in Europe is facing. Equally, given its characteristics and low carbon intensity, this resource can play a major part in bringing the energy transition and in providing affordable energy that Mauritania itself rightly demands for its own development. The very embodiment of a just transition. Kosmos deeply enjoys working in Mauritania. There's a highly professional national oil company in SMH and a deeply engaged and technically competent Ministry of Energy. And most of all, strong political leadership from His Excellency the President and from His Excellency Minister Saleh. We know that we're living in a volatile and fragile world, as the pandemic and the events in Ukraine have shown. But I believe Mauritania has the vision to see through this volatility and become a major player on the world energy stage in the coming years. Provided we get the scope and timing of the next phases of our key LNG projects right, then I reiterate my opening point. The future for Mauritania is bright. Thank you.